great basketball.
Defender to the basket, Jason Tatum.
We covering pre and post game back on this channel.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back into Celtics Postgame Live. I am your host, Rob Haytayan. With me, I have my co-hosts, Justin, Lowe, and Ian Angelo. Although it says Justin, it says you're Rob right now. I am your host, Rob Haytayan. I got you.
So we have Rob and Rob on the show tonight.
All right, well, the Celtics dismantled the Charlotte Hornets 140-105 in the second night of a back-to-back at home at the TD Garden. Jason Tatum led all scorers. He had 35, and right behind him, Marcus Smart, not only 22 points, but a career-high 15 assists for Smart. He continues his all-star campaign, guys, here as the C's take the W. No Jaylen Brown, no Al Horford, no Robert Williams.
Hang on. I know we have a special thing that happened tonight.
Please,
Someone needs to announce before we even start. Justin, what happened tonight?
Vintage Blake. 2 slam dunks for Blake Griffin. That's it. That's all. We're gonna talk about Blake. Thank you, Ian. Thank you.
So
hey, we had to open this.
Rob, tell Ian how nuts I was going when that happened. I texted Rob so quick, bro.
My first thought was you. I was online and I'm like, you know what? I gotta text Justin right now. I gotta.
He was going crazy. Celtics absolutely dismantled the Hornets. It was not even close. Right from the start, we got out. We were running, played great defense, honestly.
Yeah.
Charlotte didn't play particularly bad. They were knocking down some shots. Obviously, Charlotte was without Rozier, Hayward, LaMelo. They were also kind of banged up, but C's definitely got the best of them. Brogdon contributed 21 off the bench. And, we got to give the flowers to Blake Griffin, 9 points, 4 rebounds in only 21 minutes. Looked like vintage Blake out there.
He did. He looked
good. So, guys,
he looked good.
We are now 17-4. Obviously, no overreactions to a team against Charlotte, right? That's what everyone's going to be saying, you beat Charlotte. I was texting Justin this. It's not the fact that we just beat them tonight.
Right.
We dismantled them, and it's how we beat them shorthanded.
Right.
Yes, they were shorthanded, but this was the second night of a back-to-back. Charlotte could have very easily jumped on us. And we took care of business, Justin, right? Like, how big was tonight's performance for us?
Yeah, so tonight was really big because this very much so could have been a trap game. In the Celtics' second night of a back-to-back, after a night where you just put up 130 points, you come out and counter that with 140 points while holding the Hornets to 105 points. This was a really big win for the Celtics. And then on top of that, not only did the Celtics apply pressure from the very start, but even that last unit, which we saw struggle last night, obviously minus Cabangeli because he played tonight, not last night. But that last unit held their own as well in that fourth quarter. This was just a huge win for the Celtics. Look, they were able to rest Jason Tatum last night. They were able to rest both Jaylen Brown and Al Horford tonight. Tatum played low minutes. Grant Williams played low minutes. Marcus Smart played in the upper 30 minutes, 31 minutes, but also when you have a career night, 22 points and 15 assists, that's obviously you don't want to take him off the court. But look, I look at this game, and not only could the Celtics very much so easily drop this game, but the way they played, Rob, when you just mentioned that, the way they played, it doesn't matter who was on the Hornets, who was on the other side, who played and who didn't play. No, it was for the Celtics. Who played for the Celtics and how they played. 40 assists tonight. 40 assists. That has not happened since 2008. How long has that been? 15 years? Is my math correct?
Yeah,
Has it been
15.
that long? It's been that long. Since Brian Scalabrine was on the damn team. This tonight was a masterpiece by the Boston Celtics. Second night of a back-to-back. 270 points in 2 consecutive back-to-back games. Two straight wins, 4 straight wins, and they improved to 17-4, and I think 4-0 on this homestand.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when you think they can't get more impressive, they get impressive. And Ian, I was texting Justin this again during the game. As great as this roster is, right, and as much talent as we added, this is a significantly better team than we were last year. And I think we have to give our flowers and a lot of credit to Joe Mazzulla. I mean, the guy, it's not just the talent we have. Obviously, we're a talented basketball team. It's how we are playing. It's the movement. It's the spacing. It's the transition play. Our defense is getting better. Our rebounding is looking solid, right? How and what has Missoula done really to just like absolutely elevate this team to a historic level?
Well, first of all, Joe Mazzulla is not the step coach. He is the coach that stepped up for the
Yes.
Boston Celtics. We came into this season just, I'm not saying we're in shambles, but like we just thought the worst case scenario when we saw the whole Ime thing. Then Rob got hurt and Gallinari was hurt, and we all were thinking worst case scenario. And Joe Mazzulla just decided, hey, I'm just gonna make this team the greatest offense in NBA history.
Yeah,
I mean,
literally.
this is like the 7 seconds or less offense on crack right now.
Yeah.
I mean, literally it just feels that way.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing that Joe Mazzulla is doing so well, and he's literally saying, okay, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you can or can't. You're going to shoot the three no matter what. You're going to pass the ball. You're going to move the ball around. You're going to find the open man. Sometimes it could be sometimes they get overpass, but like, you're going to find the open man and you're going to shoot a three and you're going to hit the three because that's just Joe Mazzulla basketball. And I mean, we were talking about how amazing Udoka ball was last year. I mean, Mazzulla ball.
This is another level.
This is basically 7 seconds or less with somewhat of a San Antonio's ball movement. And I mean, this team just looks like they're on a mission.
And it's not only that we are good to this year's NBA standards. We're looking historically. What we are witnessing right now from the Boston Celtics, it's not an overreaction. It's statistics. It's facts. Is a historic basketball team. They are 17-4. That is a 67 win pace. We have now won, I believe, 13 out of the last 14. We're 13-1 in the last 14 games, which is absurd. We are 10-1 at home. We have been down our starting center, arguably our third best player all season. Tonight, like I said, no Jaylen Brown. Last night, no Jason Tatum. Mazzulla has found a way, and Brad Stevens did this, right, Justin, back with the earlier days Celtics. He found a way to maximize everyone's potential on the court. I mean, Cornette is now looking good, and I am not a big Cornette guy by any means, but Cornette is looking good.
You're not the Cornette guy? Come on.
I'm not the Cornette guy. Right? But Cornette's looking great. He has found a way to optimize Hauser's production. I mean, Pritchard is still, up and down at times in his minutes, but Pritchard looks good, and Grant's doing his things. Let's give some flowers to Grant. He only had 8 points, but a great 4 assists, 2 steals. He gave us 4 rebounds, shot only 5 shots, knocked down 3 of them. So everyone is producing at an extremely high volume and very efficient volume, which is extremely important here. And I mean, I keep saying it, right, Justin? But can it get better? I mean, can we get better than this? Is it going to get is it possible?
So that is kind of a perfect segue into something I want to talk about is when Robert Williams gets back, right? And now this doesn't mean Robert Williams has to be playing high level basketball, but we know when Rob is back and when Rob is healthy, he's going to be the starting center. When he gets back, just think of it. The rotations are going to change. Think of guys like Cornette, Peyton Pritchard, maybe Sam Hauser, guys who are getting high minutes right now, throwing a Blake Griffin, who are producing well now, aren't going to get the same minutes and might not get the same opportunities when a healthy Robert Williams is back in the lineup. But just think of those guys sitting at the end of the bench, waiting for their opportunities. That's how deep we are, right? Like we see Blake Griffin. He has the most coaches' decisions, DNPs, all season long. And he could come in a starting center role and produce the type of minutes that he produced tonight. We've seen it against different opponents. This wasn't just because the Hornets are missing some players and they've only won 6 of their last 20 games. No, Blake Griffin had a great game. Luke Cornette had a great game. It's how the Celtics did. They moved the ball, and it really can only go up from here. And it's again, this is just unbelievable. Missoula ball is crazy.
Well, have we seen? I think maybe once this year we've seen a team truly outplay the Celtics, and I think it was the overtime loss against Cleveland. because
That's Chicago.
the first
Chicago game, I think.
The first Chicago game, we were up by like 17, 18 in the first, and then we just decided to take our foot off the gas for some reason, and then just kind of and shoot threes. And I guess that that most recent Chicago game also kind of right. We kind of got outplayed there, but I mean we're 21 games in, and we are mentioning 2, maybe 3 games where we really got outplayed. So, I mean, very impressive, right? Extremely impressive. And to think that once Rob is back, right, Justin, now you're sending Grant to the bench.
Correct.
You're sending, right, let's look at
Derek
the starting
White.
lineup.
Derek White
You're sending,
as well.
So the starters, assuming that we stick to last year's starting lineup, which I don't know, it kind of looks like Missoula likes a little bit downsized. I wouldn't be shocked if you saw Al come off the bench. But if we roll with the original 5, you'll have Smart, you'll have Brown, Tatum, Horford, and Rob. And then this is where the bench gets scary. Brogdon,
it's crazy.
White, Hauser, Grant. That's 9 deep. And then you got Pritchard who can be ready, Cornette who's proven he can stay ready. You got Blake who can really, if there's an injury, Blake, he showed it. 2 big men down. He slots into that starting center spot. Only plays 20 minutes, gets you 9 points, 4 rebounds, some athletic plays, got the crowd into it. I mean, the depth on this Celtics team's crazy. The shooting on this Celtics team's crazy. The star power is crazy. I mean, the passing's great. The coaching's great. The talent's there. I mean, the chemistry's at a max level right now.
The chemistry is unbelievable. Something I've never seen before.
Oh, my God.
It feels like every night we're rolling into these games and you're expecting nothing less but a blowout. It really, I mean, when was the last close game we had? It feels like it's been a while since the last.
Well, I mean, the Pelicans game was kind of close, but like it was still.
I feel like we toyed with the Pelicans. Every time the Pelicans would cut it down to single digits, we'd boost it back up to 20. I mean, I
don't know. Like maybe the last Cleveland overtime game. Yeah. The one where Tatum dunked on Allen.
Other than that, it's not that we're just beating these teams. We are embarrassing them. Like they come into Boston or we're going to them. I mean, think about it. Memphis, we blew out. Denver, we blew out. We blew out.
Dallas.
We've blown out Dallas at home, and now.
Wait, did we blow out Memphis?
The Thunder game.
No, that's when they came back and they. Yeah, okay.
The Thunder game.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
The Thunder game, yeah. Oklahoma's probably been the closest. So I mean, the Celtics have looked dominant, and I think that's the difference. We looked like it last year, but there were still things that you looked at in the game and you said, this could be a problem. We knew it, right? We knew it going to the playoffs. We didn't look good in the playoffs. We just hunkered down on defense, and our defense kind of took us the distance, right? Like when teams can't crack 100, it's really hard to beat them. We can hold you under 100, and we can go for 140 now, which is the scary part about this team, is that the defense, the elite defense is still there from last year, right? It's going to get better with Rob. And now our offense has elevated to you're witnessing the best offense in NBA history.
Inject this Boston Celtics Kool-Aid straight into my veins. I don't care if we're 21 games into the season.
Well, no, but
it's
20. It's still early, right? It's still early, and I still want to see how we match up against Milwaukee when Milwaukee's fully healthy. We got a big one against Miami coming up.
2 big ones against Miami.
2 big little mini series. I mean, but God, like,
you know what though? The thing is I don't want to hear these teams or these opposing people say, "Oh, well, it was the Hornets, it was the Wizards, it was the Thunder." Like, first of all, look at how they played in those games. Fourth quarter against the Thunder was great. The first 3 quarters were just atrocious. But besides my point, we've beaten Philly. We've beaten Miami already. We've taken Cleveland to overtime twice. We lost. Yes, those aren't wins. But like we can hang around with these teams. Like it's not like oh, they're only doing it against bad teams. It's like, you ever think like the Celtics are just the most dominant team? Like, we, like Seamus said last year, like we are the feared. Like we're no longer going into these big matchups against Miami and Philly and going, oh, I don't know if we could pull this out. Like this would be like a crazy win if we could. No, it's like the other way around where like Miami's coming in. This is a bigger game for them, I feel like, than it would be for Boston. Obviously, you want to show, but like Boston's just that superior team. I think they're just on a whole other tier right now. And I can only imagine when Robert Williams comes back, if the bench can still contribute the way they're contributing, Rob, Ian, 51 51 bench points tonight. Every single player scored tonight who played for the Celtics except for Justin Jackson. But other than that,
and he was letting them fly too.
And he was letting
I know,
them fly.
he shot everything.
And
he shot everything.
And that's the thing, is he probably knew first, so he probably knew he was the only one who didn't score. But like the 51 bench points, like that's not gonna happen every given night. Granted, you were able to go 13 deep because you were up 14. But that's how deep we are. And on these DNPs with Peyton Pritchard and Blake Griffin, and at times maybe it's Derek White getting the nod and Sam Hauser not playing. Maybe it's Luke Cornett playing and not Sam Hauser. Like the Celtics have so many ways to go, and just like credit to Brad Stevens for putting this bench together. And we talked about this in almost every offseason show. Damian Lillard, should we go after Damian Lillard? Is Kyrie coming back? Kevin Durant, like
Bradley Beal.
Like, no, we don't need a third star. Robert Williams, we talked about in our most recent podcast episode, and maybe the one before. Robert Williams is that third star. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are bona fide superstars. Yes, superstars. I'm putting that on JB. JB is a superstar in the making. Yeah. Maybe not at the second, but by the end of the season, he will.
No, he's a superstar.
Yeah.
This is where it gets crazy. You got guys like Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, Grant Williams, you mentioned this earlier, this lineup. These guys are legitimate starters on other NBA rosters. These guys could start in Boston's starting lineup on a night where Tatum and Brown don't play. Like, it's just so unbelievable the depth we have.
I think another thing we should talk about, and I mean, because I've seen a lot of people talk about like, oh, Celtics fans think Robert Williams is like Giannis or, Kevin Durant when he comes back. Like, I don't think people know how good Robert Williams
how valuable he is.
Like, how valuable he is to this team. I mean, in my opinion, if he didn't get injured last year, he would have won Defensive Player of the Year. I know Marcus Smart had an amazing season.
No, I agree. Or
Robert Williams would have won. Sure. He would have won DPOY last year. I mean, he legitimately, he was our defense for the longest time. And I just don't think people understand how good he is and, how valuable he is to this team. And I don't know, maybe we are overhyping it. Maybe we're all overhyping it, but I really doubt it. And honestly, I mean, I just don't. It's just crazy to think that this team's not even complete. Like, we're not even done.
Here's a stat for you guys, right? Since the flip of the calendar, so since February 2nd of 2022, the last 50 games for the Boston Celtics, 51 in the regular season, they have gone 41-10, which is a 66 win pace over the course of 82 games.
That's ridiculous.
They've been scoring 120 points per game at 28 assists, 7 steals, 6 blocks. As a team, they're shooting 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 83% from the free throw. They're almost shooting 50, 40, 90 as a team, which I don't think has ever been done. They're doing it this year through 21. I know they were talking about on the broadcast NBC Sports Boston. So we've been dominant, and people can say you're only 21 games in, but let's look at the real sample size. Let's look at since the flip of the calendar of last year. We have been near perfect. Only lost 10 games. We have only lost 10 regular season games since February of last season. So the Boston Celtics are rolling. And on the topic of rolling, let's pull up the player spotlights for tonight. Marcus Smart tying JB and Derek White. Like I said, career high in 15 assists. He had 22 points along with it. Justin Smart. Let's talk about Marcus Smart. He's been great. We've been talked about All-Star. We've talked about, we know he's the Defensive Player of the Year. But has he proven more? Has he proven that this is a legit starting point guard in this league?
Remember a year ago when Justin said something like, hey, Marcus Smart could be an all-star by the end of his career, at least a time.
You did say that.
This might be
the year. I laughed at you.
This might be the year. This might be the year.
Look, in your face.
Look. But yeah, you did right in my face. Marcus Smart is playing exactly how Marcus Smart should have been playing 8 years ago to now. We can't change the past, as great as Marcus Smart has been. But the Celtics are at their best, their absolute championship level best when Marcus Smart is passing and moving the basketball. He creates his own shot off his own pass. It just everything we wished Marcus Smart was, he's becoming that. And maybe already has become that. This 22 points, 15 assists. Yeah, that 15 assists is a career high, but there have been, I don't know the number exactly, but there have been multiple nights already this season where Marcus Smart has had double-digit assist games. On games when Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are putting up 30 points. Marcus Smart is getting these 10, 11, 12, 13 assist games. This is becoming a regular occurrence for Marcus Smart. Look, he's 8 years in. I get it. That's a vet.
He's had 5 games with 10 or more already.
But, that's huge. That's everything. That is everything in a bag of chips for this Boston Celtics team. And, defensive player of the year, right? A player known for his defense is coming down. He's able to score the basketball. He's able to pass the basketball. We know he can rebound, and then he can go play defense. This is the most complete Marcus Smart has ever been in his near 10-year career, and it's showing up big for Boston as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, as great, real quick, Ian, as great as Hauser has been, as great as, White has been, maybe White is the most improved player through 21 games. I mean, maybe Derek White, right? I'd look at Derek White as this, but Marcus Smart is right up there, right up with them for the Boston Celtics, not the league, but in terms of, he really has elevated his point guard play.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's insane. It feels like Marcus Smart is getting better. I mean, normally you see players, when they first get into the league, third year, they've improved to, these kind of numbers. Marcus Smart is doing it in his 8th. I mean, obviously it helps with the chemistry because these guys have been playing together. Literally, it feels like their entire careers.
Right.
Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and Jason Tatum have been playing together their entire careers practically. I mean, it's just insane to see how much better Marcus Smart is this year. And remember all those people? Oh, we need a true point guard.
Oh, I hated it.
We don't have a true point guard.
They wanted to trade Smart for Lonzo Ball last year.
I will say, Smart was playing like we did need a true point guard. Yes, he was there. Yes, Smart was always there, right? We've always had Marcus Smart. But I think the addition of Malcolm Brogdon has kind of, from Smart, kind of been like, well, if I don't play like a true point guard, right, I'm going to get benched because there's a guy that's behind me that can do it. So I think that's just all Smart needed because I think he felt a little comfortable, right? He felt like, oh, I'm the longest tenured Boston Celtic here. I got drafted here. I played great defense. I've gone to the Eastern Conference Finals. Right, just got an extension. I've been paid. The fans love me. He had no reason to try to change things up. But then you bring Brogdon in, and Smart's thinking to himself, oh, shit. Right, I got Brogdon behind me, breathing down my neck, ready to take my starting spot. I don't think he felt threatened, but he's like, all right, let me go show everyone what I can do. Right, I'm a starting point guard on a championship team, and he's shown that. And he didn't show that in the playoffs last year. I mean, at all. The offense was stagnant. There was no. I mean, Smart's the point guard. The offense could really. I mean, he's done a great job at running the offense.
Breaking news from Mark D'Amico: just in, the Celtics are still clanging in the weight room.
They're still going at it in the weight room.
The chemistry I want to talk about, guys. The chemistry is just at an all-time high. I have never seen the team chemistry like this. It goes far beyond the after win weight lifts in the weight room.
This has to be like 2008 levels chemistry.
This is like as close to as Ubuntu as we'll see. I really do. I really believe that. And Eddie House has pointed this out. Ubuntu, I forget how to exactly explain it. Basically, you being good or something like that. You being good helps me be good or something like that. Just the chemistry on and off the court is huge. We see young game changer Marcus Smart's charity and foundation. Everybody shows up there, parties, has a great time. We see Derek White going to these events. Blake Griffin, who is so greatly fit in. This dude was a late signing, late pickup, out of nowhere, and all of a sudden he's one of the fan favorites in Boston. I just can't believe. Think of where we were 4 years ago. with Kyrie Irving, then the
Even
Kemba
2
Walker.
years ago.
Even a year ago.
Even a year ago, yeah,
right,
really.
But like, think of how when Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were young in their careers, even Marcus Smart, Al Horford, like, excuse my language, but shit hit the fan, right? We didn't know what was going to happen when this whole Kyrie Irving situation went down. Gordon Hayward went down. Then Al Horford goes to Philadelphia. Marcus Smart and calling out the Jays last year. Like, where we are right now, I get
Love
it's
and
21
trust.
games in, but love and trust. Ubuntu. Like, this is everything we could have ever wished for. I get it, 21 games in, but like, this is not a joke. Like, this is 17. This isn't luck. It's not luck.
No, I mean, this team, it honestly just feels like dominance. I mean, this must have been what like the 73-9 Warriors fans felt like. I mean, just every night, that your team is, either going to dominate your competitor or beat your competitor in one way, shape, or form. And I know, granted, 21 games, we haven't played the biggest level of competition yet, technically. I mean, granted, we have good teams, but not like the, elite title contenders. I don't think so yet. We still haven't played Milwaukee. We still haven't played Golden State, although we will next weekend. Is it next week?
Yeah, Golden State next weekend, and then the week after that.
And the week after.
A couple weeks after that, Milwaukee.
Is Milwaukee, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know.
Christmas is Milwaukee.
Honestly, I know I'm like jumping ahead in the future, but I want to see the Celtics just destroy the Warriors on their home court so badly.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
I want them to have a game like this against
like last year when we played the Warriors in Golden State. We stomped them in the regular season.
This is the best Celtics team we've definitely had since 2008. Hands down.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think when the season's over, you could look at this team up there with the 86 Celtics, teams like that. And this is the crazy part about it is this core is here for the next 5 to 10 years. Brown, as much as we joke about, oh my God, Tatum's only right. Tatum's 24, Brown is 25, Smart is 27, Rob is 24, Grant is 23, Pritchard's 22, I believe. Hauser's 21, I want to say.
Blake's only 33. Just
right. Al's still got what do you say, 2 or 3 years?
Al's got 5 more years left.
Right. So like these guys are here to stay. This is built, not bought. This is young, not old. And this is really, really impressive what the Celtics are doing. And like Ian said earlier in the show, they had every reason, every excuse locked and loaded to not come to play. They could have had a post-finals hangover, right? Like we've seen so many teams have. And then the Rob goes down and gets hurt, or first Gallo gets hurt, and then the news about Ime breaks, and then you're starting big man's out for what we think is going to be half the season. I mean, you just have every reason to just hunch over and say, screw this, right? I don't want to put right. Think about these guys after all they went through last season. They had to climb and claw their way back to the finals, right? To the finals first time. They got over the hump. They had to climb their way up to the 2 seed, and then they swept Brooklyn, and then they had to gut it out in 7 games against Giannis, and then gut it out in 7 games against Miami, and then you get beat in Game 6 at your home floor, embarrassed. Tatum came and played like a bona fide scrub, as Stephen A would say, right? Like he did not play well. They had every reason this year to suck. They had every reason just to fold it in and just say, we're gonna be mediocre, or not mediocre, but we're gonna be
repeat last year. Start
right.
slow.
We're gonna be right around the 4 seed. We're gonna kind of not, but no, they have. I mean, I give credit to Tatum. Really, it's super impressive. We've been a broken record about this, guys, all season long, and we're going to continue to be a big one Friday or Wednesday night and Friday night against the Miami Heat. A little mini series at the Garden. Wednesday at 7:30, we're going to have you covered here for post-game live right back here. If you're not subscribing to our YouTube, subscribe, please. We would greatly appreciate it. We have a lot of fun. We've been rolling on these post-games. It's easy to talk about when the Celtics are winning. So, what's not to love after the post?
Does that mean the pregame shows are coming back?
Absolutely not. After the final buzzer,
not.
Come back,
Absolutely
come chat,
not.
come. We're going to start reading. We're going to be reading comments. It's fun. We appreciate all the love you guys have been showing, though. Like I said, the Boston Celtics dismantled the Charlotte Hornets 140-105. Their winning streak improves to 4 yet again. They improved to 17-4 on the season, 10-1 at home. Marcus Smart, 22 points, 15 assists, a career high. No JB, no Rob Will, no Al Horford, no problem. The C's are rolling. We'll see you guys Wednesday night.